Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStarly TV. Today I have a brand new battle team for you all, and this is a team that I've been testing. I built this team myself, and as you'll notice, it has two of the starter Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet. Sadly, I do not have the third, Skeledirge. I love Skeledirge. It was a great Pokemon in the early meta of Scarlet and Violet, but I just think right now it's just kind of outclassed by a lot of things. And Quaquaval and Meowscarada honestly are not the strongest Pokemon in this meta, and they are maybe somewhat outclassed by certain things, but at the same time they also have abilities and tools that make them somewhat unique. So I did want to try these Pokemon out. Mainly I wanted to try out Quaquaval, which is the final evolution of course of Quaxly, and so I kind of in some ways built this team around it, and it just happened to be the case that a Pokemon that I wanted to kind of help me cover kind of Quaquaval's shortcomings and weaknesses was actually Meowscarada. So I'm just going to quickly run through the team here. There's the team code if you want to try it out yourself. I think I'm going to do a couple battles in this video, and then I'll probably use this same team and do a couple more battles later in the week as well. So you'll get a double dose of this team, which is probably cool. I hope. I hope the team performs well. I've been testing it a little bit, and it's felt pretty good. You know, there's moments where it feels solid and good. There's moments definitely where, you know, I'm wishing I had a maybe stronger Pokemon, but you know, we're gonna try it out and see how it goes. So we've got Ting-Lu, no explanation really needed there. It's the same Ting-Lu set that I've been using whenever I use Ting-Lu, which is just max HP, max defense, and Terra Poison with those moves. Great Pokemon, just super tanky, can take hits from almost anything in the meta. Then we've got Quaquaval, which is again the kind of Pokemon I kind of just built this team around. And we've got Terra Fairy type to kind of cover its weaknesses. This Quaquaval in particular, I believe I have max attack, and then I have just enough speed to outspeed Fluttermane and Chien-Pao after one Aqua Step. And then I have the rest in HP, and we're meant to set up substitutes, and we have leftovers. So the goal here is to kind of send in Quaquaval against one of the few Pokemon that it's decent against, and then maybe threaten them out, set up a substitute. And we also have Encore for bulky Pokemon that would try to like set up against us or something like that. And then we can hopefully get some knockouts, get some Moxie boosts, and go from there. So it's not truly a setup sweeper. And I went Terra Fairy again just because I think it covers my weaknesses decently well. And Fairy's just a great type. Quaquaval's typing is actually decent against some of the common Pokemon in the meta. It actually resists all of Chien-Pao's stab moves as well as Chi-Yu's. So, I mean, it just kind of is a decent defensive Pokemon right now. Not defensive, but like its typing, you know, resists a lot of common types right now. Then we've got Meowscarada, and I wanted it to be really aggressive, capable of setting up Toxic Spikes. It has Taunt. I am an adamant nature with max speed and max attack. And then we just kind of taunt things that are slower than us, and Flower Trick obviously is a strong move, you know, not really too much explanation needed for that one. And then we have Knockoff as well, which is just a solid move. So Meowscarada has been pretty decent. I've actually liked it, even though it's not really a Pokemon that you see very often anymore. And then, of course, to round out the coverage for my offensive trio, we have Chi-Yu, which is my fire type, or I guess you could say one of my fire types of choice for this team. And we've got Overheat, Psychic, Dark Pulse, and Flamethrower. This is a Choice Scarf Chi-Yu with a modest nature, meant to just outspeed things, hit really hard. I mean, Chi-Yu's a really scary threat as well in this meta, and you know, hopefully we can get off some overheats and switch. To be honest, I kind of wanted this to be a little bit of a different set, but this was the Chi-Yu that I had in my boxes, and I didn't want to tweak the EVs, honestly, so I just kind of settled on this one, even though this is a good one. But I think using Overheat, the goal with using Overheat with this Chi-Yu is to kind of like get off a lot of damage and then maybe switch out. And then come back in later and get off a lot of damage with Overheat. And my team doesn't really lend itself to switching too much because not too many of my Pokemon are super bulky, so we'll see how that ends up playing out. And then finally, the last two Pokemon here, we have Iron Moth, and this is the Iron Moth set that I always use. I love it. It's bulky, max HP, enough speed to make speed its highest stat, so it gets that booster energy boost, and then the rest in special defense. So this Iron Moth is great at taking on other Iron Moths, as well as Fluttermane, which is a very real threat to my team otherwise. And finally, we have Choice Specs Gholdengo. You know, pretty self-explanatory. We have Trick to kind of throw the Choice Specs to something that doesn't want it, and then just 3 great moves for Gholdengo. So let's get to some games right now. And we have all the Ruin Pokemon on their team. What else is new? My opponent's team is actually really bulky, which I am not happy to see. Maybe I just lead Meowscarada here. Getting up Stealth Rock with my Ting-Lu sounds nice, but I also don't love Ting-Lu's matchup against most everything else. Maybe I lead with my Chi-Yu. Just try to get off as much damage as possible against everything. I actually kind of like that. Maybe that's obvious, but I almost feel like I don't really care if my Chi-Yu faints, because as long as I can get a lot of damage on something, I think that's what's going to be more important here. And then I think I also like Gholdengo because it is immune to status. It has an okay typing. Its typing is admittedly not amazing here. I would love to bring Quaquaval as well, but I just feel like they have so many Pokemon that are just really good against me. So I'm not sure I love that. I guess I could bring my Ting-Lu, but I also honestly don't love that. But it's going to have to be something, right? I don't like Moth, right? I don't like Moth, right? Oh god, okay, well, I'm bringing Meowscarada, and I'm gonna regret it. I'm just running out of time here. I'm noticing that my team is really awkward against teams like this, teams that are kind of like really bulky and have a lot of like tricks up their sleeves. And I was testing with this team a little bit before, and I actually ran into another team that had like Amoonguss and Ting-Lu and stuff as well. So, I mean, those are Pokemon that I'm not really well equipped to deal with. And the fact that my opponent also has Clodsire is just another layer there that I'm going to struggle with. However, they do lead with their Chien-Pao, which I'm really happy about because I am faster with the Choice Scarf. Unless they themselves have Choice Scarf, I'm just going to click Overheat. My opponent doesn't really have a Pokemon that resists it. They do have their own Chi-Yu, but okay, they're probably going to be Focus Sash now that I think about it. Whatever, it's okay. Like I said at the beginning of the battle, my goal here was to just do a ton of damage with Chi-Yu, and if I've accomplished that, then that's really, I would say, all that matters. So they're going to go Sacred Sword. This is going to knock me out, but it puts them in a position where their Chi-Yu is very low, or I'm sorry, their Chien-Pao. Sorry, I'm getting all these names mixed up. Now, however, I'm kind of in a rough spot. I'm just going to go into Meowscarada knowing that I can live any hit thanks to the sorry, I'm drawing a blank here, the Focus Sash. And it's a guaranteed knockout here. They might expect me to have Sucker Punch, so maybe they're going to be afraid. It's possible if they switch out. Either way, yeah, this is fine. I guess I also could have predicted that and gone for the Toxic Spikes or something like that, but this will at least knock them out, you know, for what it's worth. And I'm gonna be faster than most of the other Pokemon that they have on their team, so that turns out pretty nicely for me as well, because it means that my Meowscarada is gonna get to do a couple of things in this battle. However, my last Pokemon's Gholdengo, which I'm honestly not super excited about because there are a few Pokemon on my opponent's team that are not bad against Gholdengo. So I guess my goal here is just to do as much damage as possible to this thing. I'm just going to go knock off just because if I can knock off Choice Specs, that might be pretty good for me. I know it's not going to do a lot of damage. Wow. Okay, well, it does a lot of damage. I do get a critical hit, which is great. Now they go Flamethrower. Sure. All right. So I did get to help my Gholdengo there a little bit. I mean, there's still a chance that they knock me out. I guess if they're modest, yeah, there's still a chance that I get knocked out here. Plus, since I knocked off their item, if they have like Overheat or something, they can now just go for that. I think I'm just gonna go Shadow Ball. If I go Focus Blast, there's a chance that I miss, and if their last Pokemon is Clodsire, I'm not gonna win the game. So I think that this is just my best bet for, I don't think it's probably very likely I'm losing this game. I don't think I'm winning this game is what I was gonna say. So, you know, if there's some chance of me winning, I have to just play to that out, and I think if I go for Focus Blast, I just guarantee that I lose. So let's see what happens here. If I don't knock them out, obviously it's GG. If I do knock them out, there's a chance we can possibly win, and we do knock them out. Nice. All right. So I still can't really imagine a situation where I win this game, though, to be quite honest, unless they have like Ting-Lu and its only offensive move is Earthquake or something like that. But they do have Clodsire, who does have Earthquake. If their only offensive move is Earthquake, that could be something for me. Still, I'm going to expect... Wow, okay. That is awesome. That's hilarious. Okay, well, I do end up winning that game because, again, I'm assuming that the Clodsire only had Earthquake, and then maybe they had, like, Toxic and, like, Recover and maybe, like, Curse or something like that, or Stockpile or something. Or, yeah, one of those moves. So that ended up working out for me. That's hilarious that I won that battle because I really don't think I should have won it. So good stuff. That just shows Gholdengo's ability is amazing, and Terra flying on Gholdengo is pretty solid. So good game 1. Let's go to game 2. And I got a ribbon on my Pokemon. That's cool. Here we are in game 2. Finally, I have an opponent who doesn't have all the Ruin Legend Pokemon on their team. They have one of them, though, and I have one of them. I have 2 of them, I mean. Anyways, I kind of like Quaquaval, but I feel like they're likely to lead with... One of their likely leads is Tinkaton, who sometimes runs Thunder Wave on its lead sets, which I don't want to go up against. Also, they could possibly lead with Iron Bundle, who often has Freeze Dry, so I just don't really like where that's going. I don't know who exactly I want to lead with, though. I'm kind of tempted to lead with Chi-Yu, but again, if they lead with Iron Bundle, which is actually somewhat likely, that could be really bad for me, but I might actually... I'm just going to lead Chi-Yu for the same reason I led with it last game, which is just to get off as much damage as I possibly can, and then even if it faints, you know, I can just kind of like go into something else later and go from there. Meowscarada. I like Meowscarada. It actually has a decent typing against their whole team. And then from there, I really want something that can help me against that Chi-Yu. I think Quaquaval actually looks solid here because it looks like some of the Pokemon that Meowscarada might struggle with, Quaquaval might help. I don't know. I'm probably wrong about that. We will see. Yeah, we're going to see how this works out. I'm realizing, I mean, this team is fun to use. It is very kind of narrow, though. Something I'm learning is that this team is, you know, not, to put it bluntly, not that strong, but I'm okay with that. So they lead with their Garchomp, which is definitely very scary. I know I'm going to be faster unless they themselves are Choice Scarf. I'm going to click Dark Pulse. There's a chance I flinch. There's a chance that they're not Choice Scarf and we knock them out. Wow, okay. Oh no, okay, I said there's a chance we flinch, and I definitely feel bad that we flinched them, even though it was something that I, you know, highlighted as an option. That's going to force them to switch out there. We know that they are not Choice Scarf. That's good information. They're more likely like Focus Sash. You know, Garchomp's not a Pokemon you see very commonly anymore, but it is, you know, it used to be very commonly Focus Sash lead. They go into their own Chi-Yu, and I mean, neither of us really has much to hit the other with. I mean, Quaquaval's typing is good against them. I think I just go into it. That's kind of why I brought it, right? We're going to see how much damage this does. It's also possible they Terrasilize because Chi-Yu's coverage is actually really, really bad. It only has like Dark, Fire, and Psychic moves, and then Terra Blast. Now, they go Nasty Plot, which I am not happy to see, although that is a little bit surprising. I think I just go Aqua Step here. I mean, yeah, it's very likely that they go for... They Terra, yeah, which is exactly what's happening. But I'm not going to try to predict which Terra type they are. You know, maybe if I were more savvy to the meta, I could have a guess. They go Terra Grass, sure. This is going to probably knock out my Quaquaval, which is funny because Quaquaval hasn't really done anything in this battle, but that's fine. You know, I could have gone Terra Fairy, which would have been definitely a safer option because Fairy, as I said, is just a solid type. But then, you know, there's still a good chance that they knock me out because they're at +2 and they're a Chi-Yu. So, like, yeah. Either way, I'm just going to go into my, my own Chi-Yu, and I think I just Terrasilize here. Because if they go into Garchomp, I'm going to Terra, go Flamethrower, and if they go into Garchomp, it's probably going to get knocked out. If they stay in with this, they're obviously getting knocked out, and if they go into something else, you know, with the Terra type and Modest Nature and Stab, I'm going to be doing a lot of damage regardless of what they go into. Plus my ability lowers their special defense. So yeah, this just seems like the best option for me. And if I knock them out here again, I feel confident that I will knock out their Garchomp as well at some point. So this is just good for me, I think. Now honestly, I should have taken a look at the rest of their team. Although it doesn't matter, I was going to Terrasilize Chi-Yu over Meowscarada anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter who their last Pokemon is because I was going to click Terra there anyway. And they go into Hoti de Fer. I don't know who that is. That is this. Interesting. Okay, so I know for a fact that... Ooh, is that speed? Okay. Well, here we go. Let's see how fast they are. This might be really bad for me. And they do hit. Oh, there was a chance they missed that. But I guess if I already got hacks in this battle, I guess it's only fair that they also get hacks, right? So now... I'm probably losing. They are guaranteed faster than me. I do get... Now here's the funny thing. If I had waited to Terra my Meowscarada, I possibly could win here because I would get off extra damage with Flower Trick, and then when they go into Garchomp, I should be able to knock them out. So I think that actually cost me the game, the fact that it's really funny because I was saying like, oh, there's no reason for me to wait to Terrasilize Meowscarada, but it actually might have mattered. Oh, nice, okay. So we still get there, nice, all right, I'll take it. So it ends up being the case that it did not matter that I Terrasilized Chi-Yu instead of Meowscarada. I know for a fact now that their Garchomp is not Choice Scarfed. However, there is still a chance that they're faster because I am an adamant nature, but let's click it. Let's see what happens. Nice. Now, Rough Skin will knock me out, but I think it still counts as a win for me because their Garchomp gets knocked out first, I believe. And since all their Pokemon are gone, I actually don't think I take Rough Skin damage, right? Yeah, exactly. Okay. That was a really close one. It literally came down to 1 HP on my Meowscarada, and that is why you can see that Meowscarada is still in a pretty solid position. It's really fast, although not as fast as the best threats in the meta, but its typing is also pretty good, and with Flower Trick and a pretty solid attack stat, it's a solid Pokemon. Quaquaval, unfortunately, didn't get to show off too much in that video, but, you know, there have still been moments where it's worked out really well for me, and, you know, these matchups went really well for me, so even though, to be honest, you could argue I shouldn't have won either of them, but... that's how it went. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. We are less than a couple of weeks away from the brand new metagame, which will add a bunch of amazing new Pokemon to the format, which I am super, super excited about. So be on the lookout for that. I really cannot wait. And thank you for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of the team. Let me know if you try it out for yourself. And as always, if you have team codes for me, feel free to drop them in the comments. I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you next time.